2010 was a year of extremes for the Eastbourne Eagles. The Sussex side managed just 7th in the Elite League table, 2 spaces from the wooden spoon, and a mammoth 37 points from South Coast rivals Poole at the top of the chart. Yet there was no better example of their tale of two halves than their superb cup final appearance. Victors at home by an 8-point margin, it was not until the 30th and last race of the cup that the trophy was finally decided in favour of the Pirates. The star that day, Danish international Bjarne Pedersen, who helped the Dorset men to yet another top-flight trophy, paid for 14 points, including a mammoth Heat 15 paid win. And in one of the surprise twists of the winter, Pedersen will line up at number 1 for the Eastbourne Eagles. So it's all changed down Arlington Way. Let's meet the full team with our 2011 Eastbourne Speedway season preview. The biggest change for the side is the departure of 2010 number 1 Matti Zagar. A controversial figure through much of the season, Zagar struggled to get to grips with his new home circuit and the responsibility of the number 1 position, and compounded his unpopularity with some by his absence from a dozen fixtures. Nonetheless, the Slovenian World Cup regular continued admirably despite his detractors, battling to several big points hauls and improving towards the end of the season. And it looked through December as though he may be making a return to the Arlington Stadium. But ultimately, the Eagles' return to regular Saturday night racing meant further clashes with the Slovenians' international diary, and the Eagles looked elsewhere. Also on the move in 2011, Thomas Jedrzak, a popular late-season addition to the Eastbourne team last year, who scored consistently well. The 31-year-old former Bellevue and Lakeside rider looks likely to focus on his Polish commitments, where he will race for Wrocław. The third team change for the new season sees Ricky Kling miss out on a team space. The Swede, who made his Elite League debut for Oxford in 2007, has spent the last 2 seasons with the Eagles, but after a lacklustre close to the 2010 season, will hope that a move to pastures new will give him back the spark that he showed so capably in the opening weeks of the year. His new challenge will see him lined up in a second-string position at Bellevue. Ricky Kling's replacement for the 2011 season is returning injury victim David Lampart, who started 2010 so brightly before a broken collarbone lost him his team place. The former under-21 World Cup winner is likely to be partnered at reserve by Czech star Lucas Drimmel. Eastbourne also welcomed back another returning son in Lewis Bridger. The former British under-21 champion is one of the most popular riders on the Arlington Terraces, and his signing is a great coup for the Sussex club. Lewis spent a season on loan, initially with Peterborough but later with Coventry, after his efforts to establish himself on the larger East of England showground proved unsuccessful. A clear class act at the Arlington Raceway, who raced on the circuit to great effect last year, Bridger is the key to Eastbourne's campaign. So it's former pool number 1 Bjarne Pedersen who makes the trip along the south coast to Eastbourne to head up the Eagles lineup for the new season. The former Grand Prix winner is joined in the heat leader positions by returning world long track champion Eunice Kilmacorpy, whose inclusion sees him an Eastbourne asset again after his completion of a full transfer during the winter. The Finn, who made his debut with the Eagles in 2001, was an integral part of last year's campaign, but had been widely predicted for a return to then-parent club Lakeside, before being announced as a New Year present to Eastbourne fans. Fellow club assets Simon Gustafsson and Cameron Woodward line up further down the order, with Czech hero Lucas Drimmel and Poland's David Lampart receiving return tickets at reserve. Completing the squad at number 8 is Taylor Poole, who will race regularly at Premier League level with the Ipswich Witches alongside his Eastbourne squad duties. Following a winter of turmoil at Elite League level, the announcement of 2011 fixtures was somewhat delayed, but the initial announcement of 2 mouth-watering derby clashes must already be inscribed indelibly on diaries up and down the country. In a traditional Good Friday fixture, the Eagles will take on Lakeside in a home and away doubleheader on the 22nd of April. Eastbourne's new Super 7 makes its home debut outing on the 20th of March as Bjarne Pedersen gets an early opportunity to draw blood against his former club Poole.